Hello students, welcome to Shakti's English Club, and now we are going to learn the poem A Tiger in the Zoo by Leslie Norris. About the poet, Leslie Norris was a prize-winning Welsh poet. He is also a short story writer. He taught at academic institutions in Britain and the United States. Norris is considered one of the most important Welsh writers of the post-war period. His literary publications have won many prizes. So now let's move to the poem. A Tiger in the Zoo. In this poem, the poet has compared the zoo tiger and the jungle tiger. He had clearly portrayed how a caged tiger had lost its personality and being very helpless in the zoo. So now let's start with the first stanza. He stalks in his vivid stripes, the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. He stalks. So here he refers to the tiger. Stalks. Stalks means walk. He stalks. The tiger walks in his vivid stripes. Vivid means bright stripes. So the stripes on its body are very bright. So the tiger walks with his bright stripes, the few steps of his cage. So the cage is very small and it could take only few steps inside the cage. So the tiger is walking with its bright stripes inside the cage and it could take only few steps. On pads of velvet quiet. On pads of, here the paws of the tiger is compared with the velvety pads. So velvet, the paws of the tiger are very soft like velvet, and it is very noiseless when it walks inside the cage. So his paws are very soft like velvet, as it is very noiseless when he walks inside the cage. In his quiet rage, the tiger is walking inside the cage in anger. It is very quiet, but it is very angry. And here, though the tiger is very majestic and beautiful, it is not happy. It is walking inside the cage in anger for being confined inside the cage. Clear, students? Let's move to the second stanza. In the second stanza, the poet has described the jungle tiger. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole where plump deer pass. So now here he refers to the tiger, we know. The tiger should be lurking in shadow. Lurking means hiding. So he is telling in the jungle, the tiger would be hiding somewhere, sliding through long grass. Sliding means moving softly, moving smoothly. So sliding through long grass, it will be moving very softly without any noise, and it will be hiding behind the long grass near the water hole, near the water bodies. It can be a lake or a pond, but it will be near the water hole where plump deer pass. Plump means fat and fleshy. So it will be, the tiger will be hiding behind the long grass near the water bodies where the plump deer will come to drink water. So it will be near the water body waiting for the fat deer to come there so that it can easily catch its prey. So this is the natural habitat of the jungle tiger. The jungle tiger would be hiding behind the long grass near the water body, and it will be waiting for the deer to pass so that it can easily catch out its prey. Clear, children? So let's move to the next stanza. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. So here the poet says If the tiger is set free, if the tiger is set free, he should be snarling around houses. So he is refers to the tiger, should be snarling. Snarling means growling, growling noise. The tiger will make a sound, right? That is snarling. So he should be growling around the houses at the jungle's edge, around the houses which is near the outskirts of the forest. So the tiger should be snarling. If the tiger is set free, he would have been snarling around the houses which is near the forest, baring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. He'll be threatening the village people, baring. Baring means showing. So he'll be terrorizing the village people by showing his white sharp teeth and his claws. So if the tiger would have been set free, he would have been snarling around, growling around the houses which is near the jungle, and he'll be terrorizing, threatening the people by showing his white sharp teeth and claws. Clear, children? Next stanza. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. So till now we saw how a jungle tiger is ferocious and waiting to attack the deer, and it was happy threatening the village people with its sharp teeth. But now to the reality, he is inside the cage. But he is locked, the tiger is locked in a concrete cell. Concrete means very strong and a hard cell. His strength behind bars. His strength means the tiger's strength. What is the strength? Being very ferocious and ready to attack. So his strength, his attacking power is behind the bars. It has been confined in the cage. Stalking the length of his cage. Stalking means walking. So he could only walk to and fro in the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. So now here the poet says like the tiger could only walk the length of his cage and he doesn't like it. So that is why he is avoiding visitors. He is being locked. His strength is behind the bars. So he is ignoring the visitors. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So here the zoo tiger at night he could only hear the sounds of the patrolling cars. Patrolling cars are the vehicles used to guard at night. So he hears, the tiger could hear only the sounds of the patrolling cars at night. And inside the cage what he can do? He could only stare at the stars. Stare means look fixedly. He is looking at the shining stars with his brilliant eyes. Brilliant, again the meaning is shining. So here the poet clearly depicts that how a caged tiger is confined inside the cage and he could not do anything. He is very sad and he could only hear the sounds of the patrolling cars and he could only stare at the sky. So these actions clearly depicts that the caged tiger is very sad and also like his whole strength is behind the bars. Let's see the literary devices from the poem. First rhyme scheme. Stripes A, cage rhymes with rage, that is B, quiet is C. The rhyme scheme is A, B, C, B. The pattern is similar with all other stanzas. So the rhyme scheme of the whole poem is A, B, C, B. Next, personification. Here, the tiger is personified as a human being. So that is why the poet has used the word he. to refer the tiger. Next, metaphor, velvet pads. Here the paws of the tiger is compared with the soft velvet pads. The paws of the tiger is very soft like velvet. So it is metaphor. Next, oxymoron. Oxymoron is nothing but the use of adjectives which has the opposite meanings. Quiet, rage. Quiet is very silent, rage is being very angry. So opposite in meanings. So the use of adjectives which has the opposite meanings. Next, imagery. Here the poet made us imagine a zoo tiger and a jungle tiger. Here the clear imagination or imagery is depicted, portrayed here. So that is why the zoo tiger as a jungle tiger is an imagery here. Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is nothing but the sound words, the words which denote the sound. Snarl. Snarl is the growling sound of the tiger. So this is onomatopoeia. Next, alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the consonant sounds at the beginning of the adjacent words. Plum, pass. P sound is repeated. Behind bars, B sound is repeated. He hears, H sound is repeated. I hope it's clear. Next we'll move to the theme of the poem. The theme and the short summary of the poem. In this poem, the poet has given a vivid description about the tiger in the zoo as well as the tiger in its natural habitat. The poem portrays clearly the agony and the inability of the zoo tiger, and in contrast, it depicts the audacious and the valiant jungle tiger. I think the poem is easy and clear for you. If you have any queries, write in the comment section. I can clarify your queries. Subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you, students.